Tribunal orders Cardoso to appear on Tuesday over CBN's role in Kogi governorship election. Can you imagine? We know that that case is in court and the tribunal is still investigating, even though we know in APC government and the person in question is Ododo of APC, that he may not go anywhere. But now it looks like CBN has been indicted in that rigging of that election to make Ododo the governor. And that was, orchestrated by the former governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello. So let's see exactly where CBN comes into this election tribunal here, because it's a serious matter. The Kogi governorship election petition tribunal in Abuja on Monday ordered the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, to unfailingly appear before it on Tuesday. So the governor is to appear to give explanations on the role of the Apex Bank in the November 11, 2023 off-cycle election in Kogi State. The three-member panel of justices led by Ado Berenin Kudu also threatened to wield the big stick on the CBN Director of Corporate Service. The development occurred following an application by Alex Izinyon San, counsel for the Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State, the second respondent in the petition filed by Social Democratic Party SDP and its candidate in the election. The tribunal had on April 18 issued a subpoena to compel the CBN governor or any of its officers to attend the proceedings to give evidence in relation to allegations leveled by Mr. Ododo that the petitioners filed the petition against him outside the 21 days allowed by law. So although the panel directed the CBN governor or its officer to appear on April 19th to testify, no one represented the Apex Bank at the hearing. So meanwhile, shortly after, Paul Daudu, who appeared for the governor, led the witnesses in evidence on Monday, and after they were cross-examined, the lawyer told the panel he was instructed by the team's leader to hand over the case to him until the next adjourned date. Mr. Zinyon then told the tribunal that those witnesses taken by Mr. Daudu were the ones they had for the day. So the senior lawyer told the panel that he was aware that the CBN management, in a letter to the tribunal, said they would not be available until Friday, April 26, pursuant to their applications for subpoena. So he said, though the second respondent, Mr. Ododo, had planned to call his witnesses within 5 days, the issue of subpoena must be dealt with before proceedings. So Mr. Zenyon, who said he expected an officer from the legal department of CBN to be at the tribunal Monday, described the letter written to the tribunal by the Apex Bank as an act of contempt. So he says subpoena by nature is in the name of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. So he said the CBN team should be at the tribunal on Tuesday to give evidence, and if they fail to appear, it would be in the court record going by the fact that the matter was time-bound. So if by today, Tuesday, we call our last witnesses and they, CBN officers, are not here, we urge my Lord to look at our application in the interest of justice, he said. Aliyu Saiki San, lawyer to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the first respondent, DC Demingwe San, who appeared for All Progressive Congress APC, and the third respondent, and Pius Akubo San, who represented the petitioners, aligned with Mr. Zinyon's application. So Mr. Akubo, however, said that since Mr. Zinyon had hinted that Mr. Ododo would be closing their defense on Tuesday, he urged the court to allow the third respondent APC proceed with their defense after the governor must have called his witnesses, even if CBN officers failed to appear. Delivering the ruling, Justice Berkin Kudu held that the subpoena was to the CBN governor and the bank's director of the corporate service, so not for any other person. That is it. So the judge held that the act of writing to the tribunal by the Apex Bank that its officers will be available on the pretenses is contemptuous and condemnable. So the panel then adjourned the matter until April 23 for the continuation of the second respondent's defense and for the CBN to show cause. Mr. Izinho equally informed the tribunal that they had applied for the record of proceedings to be sure that what they had is what is in the record. Justice Brennan Kudu then said the record of proceedings was ready and would be made available to the second respondents team. Earlier, Enesi Mohammed from Adavi local government area of Kogi State and Jimo Onimisi Biodun from Okehi local government area testified in the defense of Mr. Ododo's election victory. So this was filed by News Agency of Nigeria. So the thing here is that CBN has been indicted in that tribunal, and they are now, saying for some reasons they are not going to be available, and they replied to the tribunal subpoena by saying they will be available on Friday, April 26. That is a bit too far. Okay, but they were asked to, if we are to be honest with ourselves, for APC and Tinubu to put Cardoso there, even though the public protested, you know why now? That is it. I will not be surprised if in this case that APC, under Ododo and Yaya Bello in Kogi State use CBN a lot. I will not be surprised because they seem to be working together. That is, even though they will tell you there's no proof, they will tell you they are not involved, but then let CBN go and answer. And they don't have to send a CBN lawyer or anybody from legal department. The head of the tribunal, Berenin Daudu, also said the subpoena was addressed to the CBN governor and to his director of operations. So they have to be there. That is it. They have to be there. They don't have to send anybody by proxy. They don't have to send any representative. That is it. So that is the position in that Brennan Kudu, not Daud. Yeah, Brennan Kudu is the head of the tribunal. So now they need to, the CBN must go and respond to that, because what happened in that election was too bad. The role that the governor of Imo State played by giving Yaya Bello the kind of template he used in Imo election for himself, and they used it in that place, and it caused a lot of problem for Usman Ododo to become the governor of that state. So SDP is still challenging that victory in court, even though PDP, under Dino Melaye backed out of that case. But SDP is still following it through. And the way it is going, it might produce result. It might produce result, I tell you the truth. So that is what is happening in that tribunal. And I just hope that CBN will go and free themselves. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment on this involvement of CBN in Kogi governorship off-cycle election.